Has Sharad Pawar punctured a big giant hole in the assault armor of Rahul Gandhi when it comes to Gautam Adani? I'm Barkha Dutt. You're with the Mojo Story. Our focus today is on the rather intriguing political development when Sharad Pawar, often called India's wiliest politician, has broken ranks with the opposition on the Adani Hindenburg issue. In fact, he went so far as to say that Adani and Ambani should also be appreciated for their contributions to India. He urged the opposition to focus on issues that actually impact the daily lives of people, including unemployment and inflation. To make things even more interesting, while some Congress leaders targeted Sharad Pawar on social media, it was Devendra Fadnavis of the BJP who stepped in to jump to his defense. Pawar has also broken ranks with the Aam Aadmi Party that has been targeting the Prime Minister on the issue of his college degree. Once again, Sharad Pawar urged the opposition to actually pick up issues that impact the everyday lives of voters. Now, one way of looking at it is that Sharad Pawar is simply speaking from a place of common sense. But political wheels are churning, and many people wonder if this is a prelude to something else, because after all, the opposition in parliament thus far had been putting up a united front when it came to the demand for a JPC into the Adani issue. Sharad Pawar has basically said a JPC is meaningless, pointing out that a JPC will have the maximum number of people from the ruling party. Sharad Pawar's personal relationship and personal good relationship across the aisle, including with the Prime Minister, has often been commented on. So, what is brewing here, and how do we decode Sharad Pawar's latest move on the chessboard of politics? Let's introduce our guests on the program today. Joining us from the Congress is Advocate Mahima Singh. It's always good to see you, Mahima ji. Welcome back to the program. Also joining us is Saba Naqvi, who's a veteran journalist, commentator, and author. Good to see you, Saba. Also joining us from the NCP is Brijmohan Shrivastav, who's a spokesperson of the NCP. Namaskar, Brijmohan ji. Welcome to the program. And also joining us is the national spokesperson of the BJP, Asif Bhamla, who's of course understands Maharashtra politics as well, like the back of his hand, being from Mumbai itself. So good to see all of you. And let me actually, before I bring in Brijmohan ji of the NCP, play out for you exactly what Sharad Pawar said at his press meet when he spoke about the contribution of Gautam Adani and Mukesh Ambani. Listen it.
सर, आपने ये भी कहा कि अडानी को क्रिटिसाइज करना सही नहीं है। अडानी जैसे लोग अच्छा काम करते हैं उनका
ऐसे मैंने कहा नहीं, ये मेरे मुंह पर मत डालिए। मैंने ये कहा कि एक ज़माना ऐसा था कि उस ज़माने में हम हमेशा रूलिंग पार्टी पर क्रिटिसिज्म करना हो तो टाटा बिरला पर हम क्रिटिसिज्म करते थे। आजकल टाटा बिरला का नाम लेते नहीं। और दूसरा, देशवासियों को ये पता लगा है, अंदाज़ा है कि टाटा का भी देश में कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन है। इसलिए आजकल अडानी अंबानी नाम लेते हैं, तो उनका कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन क्या है कि उसमें इस बारे में सोचने की आवश्यकता है। दूसरी बात, आज मुझे लगता है कि हमारे सामने दूसरे इशू ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है। एक अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट, दूसरा प्राइस राइज और तीसरा फार्मर्स किसानों की समस्या। ये तीन मेजर इशू आज देश के सभी लोगों के सामने है। इस बारे में अपोजिशन के नाते से हमें ध्यान देना पड़ेगा, हम देंगे। और इससे ज़्यादा इस इशू पर कोई बोलने की आवश्यकता है ऐसे मुझे लगता है।
Focus on unemployment, inflation, and farmers' issues. Also talk about the contribution, that's the word he uses, of Adani and Ambani to India. Don't criticize them for the sake of it. I think, let me get a reaction first from the Congress. Mahima ji, how disappointed are you? We saw Alka Lamba of your party colleague, actually calling Sharad Pawar greedy. Mr. Fadnavis of the BJP stepping in then to actually defend Sharad Pawar. This is hardly the sort of divisions in the opposition ranks you need right now. And Sharad Pawar is too senior to be ignored. How do you see this?
Good evening, Barkhaji, and I don't think there are any divisions. I think very clearly Mr. Pawar, who's a very seasoned veteran politician, has made a point. And Pawan Kheraji this afternoon, while conducting a press conference at the Congress headquarters, has very categorically reaffirmed that what Mr. Pawar has said in saying, first, he's called a spade a spade. He said what is wrong must be called out wrong. And he also reaffirmed that, Mr. Pawar is right in saying that there will be majority members of the JPC from the BJP, yet the only way that enables us to have the scope to put across written questions and seek written answers from the government and to get on record all the documentary evidence or proofs is a joint parliamentary committee, and there is no other way. And the Supreme Court committee, that has been formed, will not be able to put up very significant questions. It is rather tasked to look into the to strengthening the regulatory mechanisms of the of the stock market and the violation that they are foreseeing there. So I think what
Right.
Mr. Pawar has said is an opinion that he holds, and I think as a veteran politician that he is, of course he will have his own ways of saying things. And the Congress party is, I think, the backbone of our ideology is protecting the democracy and respecting the various
So,
views.
so you're
And
not
so,
backing off. You're not backing off in your demand for the JPC.
not at all, absolutely not. And I think we have made it very clear that the genesis of this problem is in crony capitalism. And so we will, go to any extent to have this JPC formed, and we are not giving up. We have made that very clear that our voice is unrelented. It's not going to be
Right.
silent. You can, they can disqualify our MP. They can mute mics. They can they can stoop to any laws, but the Congress will remain, firm and stern where
Right.
we stand.
Bri- uh,
So that's
Bri-
our stand.
Bri- Brijmohan ji, Sharad Pawar has broken with the opposition on two issues. On the second issue, of course, the opposition is not united. Only Arvind Kejriwal is raising the issue of the degree of the prime minister. But on the first issue, why would Sharad Pawar feel the need to address the differences he has in public? अगर उनको कुछ अलग से कहना भी था, तो वो प्राइवेट में राहुल गांधी से कह सकते थे कि भाई चलिए अब बहुत हो गया, आप कोई और मुद्दा उठाते हैं। जब उन्होंने पब्लिक में ये बात रख दी तो लोगों को यही लगेगा that there's something else happening here. What will you say, sir?
बरखा जी, सबसे पहले तो आपको ये समझना होगा कि आदरणीय शरद पवार जी इस देश के बहुत ही गंभीर और बहुत ही वरिष्ठ राजनेताओं में से एक है। और जब भी वो कोई बात कहते हैं तो उसके पीछे हमेशा उनका उद्देश्य ये रहता है कि वो देश हित में हो और एक आम आदमी से जुड़ा हुआ मुद्दा हो। उन्होंने इस मुद्दे पे भी अपनी जो बात रखी, जब पार्लियामेंट का सेशन खत्म हो गया, हम लोग पार्लियामेंट सेशन तक लगातार जो हम सब लोगों ने बैठ के तय किया था, विपक्षी सारे राजनीतिक दलों ने, उसके साथ हम लोगों ने बात की। और लेकिन जब जेपीसी का गठन नहीं हो पाया सारी कोशिशों के बावजूद, तो शरद पवार जी ने इस बात को खुल के रखा कि अब चूंकि सेशन खत्म हो चुका है, अब अगर जेपीसी की हम मांग भी करते हैं तो 2-2.5 महीने जब तक सेशन नहीं होगा तब तक इस बात पे, इस बिंदु पे बात करने का कोई मतलब नहीं निकलेगा। तो बेहतर क्यों ना ये हो कि जो मुद्दे जनता के बीच में लगातार चल रहे हैं और जिसके कारण सारी की सारी विपक्षी पार्टियां एक हुई हैं। देखिए, अडानी जी का जो मुद्दा है ये तो अभी बीच में आया है, लेकिन इसके पहले से लगातार विपक्ष एक 3 मुद्दों पे था। वो मुद्दे यही थे कि देश में लोकतांत्रिक संस्थाएं और लोकतंत्र के साथ भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार और भारतीय जनता पार्टी खिलवाड़ कर रहे हैं, उनको तहस नहस करने में लगे हुए हैं। दूसरा मुद्दा यह था कि देश में जो बेरोजगारी है, महंगाई है और किसानों के जो मुद्दे हैं, इन्हीं को लेकर सारे विपक्ष के राजनीतिक दल एक हुए थे। तो आदरणीय शरद पवार साहब ने उस दिन अपने इंटरव्यू में इसी बात को रखा है कि क्यों ना अब ये जो दौर है इसमें हम सुप्रीम कोर्ट की जो कमेटी है उसने जो अपना एक फैसला, उसका जो निर्णय है।
ब्रिजमोहन जी, जब कांग्रेस की अलका लांबा शरद पवार को ग्रीडी कहती है, जब उनकी तस्वीर शेयर की जाती है अडानी के साथ, तो पवार जी को मतलब और उनकी जो पार्टी के कार्यकर्ता हैं, आप जैसे लीडर्स को कैसा लगा ये बयान देख के?
देखिए बरखा जी, उस फोटो में 2 लोग हैं। मेरे नेता ना तो लालची है, ना ही मेरे नेता किसी प्रकार की तानाशाही से डरने वाले नेताओं में से। मैं ऐसा क्यों मानूं कि इस बात को बहन अलका लांबा ने मेरे नेता के लिए कहा है? उसमें 2 लोग हैं, हो सकता है किसी और के लिए भी उन्होंने कहा हो, और साथ ही साथ उसके बाद उन्होंने इस बात से अपने आप को कहा भी है कि ये मेरे अपने व्यक्तिगत विचार थे और आदरणीय जयराम रमेश जो कि कांग्रेस के महामंत्री और प्रभारी हैं इन सारी चीजों के, उन्होंने इस बात को स्पष्ट किया है कि हमारा ये अलका लामा जी का जो विचार है वो उनका व्यक्तिगत विचार है, ये कांग्रेस का नहीं है। एक दूसरी बात ये भी समझिएगा कि जो गठबंधन हो रहा है हम लोगों का, जो हमारा गठबंधन है, उनमें ऐसी कोई भी बात दरार पैदा नहीं कर सकती। इससे बड़ा मुद्दे भी डिस्कस हुए हैं, इससे बड़े मुद्दे पे भी कांग्रेस ने कई बात ऐसी कही है जहां हमारी पार्टी ने, शिवसेना ने अपनी जो नाराजगी थी वो उनको दर्ज कराई, और उसके बाद भी हम गठबंधन का हिस्सा हैं। तो मैं सोचता हूँ इन बातों से कोई बहुत प्रभाव नहीं पड़ने वाला, और हमारा गठबंधन है और आने वाले दिनों में भी पूरी शक्ति के साथ भारतीय जनता पार्टी के खिलाफ काम करेगा।
Let me take this to Asif Bhamla then. Mr. Bhamla, the BJP might have been hoping that there's a darar, और अभी आप सुन रहे हैं कि हाँ difference of opinion है लेकिन दरार नहीं है. How weakened do you think Rahul Gandhi and the opposition's attack will be on Adani after Mr. Pawar's very public utterances?
Well, the problem and the main issue is that the race for the space of an opposition that is there, that is what is being looked at by all the opposition parties put together, and it's been happening since a long time, but it hardly matters to us because, I mean, of course, I do certainly welcome the statement by Honorable Sharad Pawar ji. I have always regarded him as a very senior leader because I've worked under him in the NCP for quite many years, and of course, he's quite a veteran, and for the kind of languages that has been used by him, and I welcome the statement and the statesmanship by our Honorable leader Devendra Fadnavis ji, who reciprocated to the tweet, to the arrogance of Alka Lamba ji, the way she has spoken with. I think if someone senior from the party would have spoken or would have addressed this issue, or he would have come up with that would have been still legitimate, but not from someone like Alka Lamba, who's no voice in politics, especially when it comes to leaders like Sharad Pawar, and when it comes to issues like national issues. Now, coming back to the real issue, what is the 1 second, let my thing. What is the real issue? What has Honorable Sharad Pawar ji mentioned? Can you hear me? Am I okay?
Yes, I can hear you fine.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Okay. So, what has Honorable Sharad Pawar ji mentioned? You see, his demand was that the opposition wanted a joint parliamentary committee, and joint parliamentary committee, because the ruling party is higher in numbers. A visionary leader like Sharad Pawar has already imagined that maybe there could not be a favorable outcome. So a proper investigation via a Supreme Court in a proper and an appropriate manner is something what is prescribed and advised. And I don't see anything wrong in that. You see,
how do you see the Hindenburg report, Mr. Bhamla? There are serious allegations here of market manipulation. Those questions will be there. The Supreme Court is personally monitoring a probe. There are allegations of money laundering. Because Sharad Pawar has said so, those allegations, those questions will not go away.
You see, when you're talking about the allegations and the wrongdoing of Adani's, you see the statements by the TMC and Mamata Banerjee's party also. I'm sure you've seen what Derek O'Brien also mentioned to me. So yeah. I'm saying that why doesn't these states who are claiming that Adani is wrong, he's involved into the wrongdoing, let them start with in their own state. Let them ban the Adani Group there. Why let them in Chhattisgarh, in Rajasthan? Why aren't they coming up? Why aren't they taking the initiative first? The other states will naturally follow them. जब उनकी बात आती है, do you mean to say क्या ये दलाल हैं? क्या ये घूसखोर हैं जो अलका लांबा जी कहती है, क्योंकि उन्होंने इंक्वायरी नहीं बिठाई है अब, तो कहीं ना कहीं
ये आपका सवाल ठीक है। ये आपका सवाल
ये 10 सेकंड बरखा जी, जब आप किसी चीज पर उंगली उठाते हो तो you start with your own self, and I am not here to confide and say whether the Hindenburg claim is right or wrong, but I personally feel that after the demand was raised under the Supreme Court, as a probe was appointed, a committee with a retired Supreme Court judge, an expert and an administrator and an economist, I think in the given guidelines, in the time frame, in a time frame, I think we should get an outcome rather than just shouting about and making a huge noise in the whole country and not letting the parliament function.
Okay.
It's the people.
Let me jump in. Let me jump in now. I know, Mahima, you have your hand up, but I have to bring in Sabah now. So, Sabah, it's quite interesting. I was going through your tweets on this issue, and even you, like the rest of us, wondered what is Pawar's real sort of thinking here, because Mr. Pawar is not an obvious sort of politician here. There's a lot of opacity to his every move. But you seemed to agree with him that maybe the Adani issue is now going the way of the Rafale issue in the
Yes.
last election. That it's so, okay, you made your point, you made the noise, there are legitimate questions, you've raised them, now move on. Do you have that view?
I do, Barkha. Absolutely, I do. And there is an argument. People will argue that corruption has been a big issue. There was Bofors, but you have to respond to the structure of the times in which you live. And right now, you have a scattered opposition, which can be numerically strong if they stay together against a strong leader like Narendra Modi, who has a simple majority. That is where we are heading towards in 2024. So you have to respond to the times. And there are divisions in the opposition about the strategy on Adani. Like you said, it is, of course, a valid issue. But I believe that with Rahul Gandhi going on and on only about one single issue, you suck the oxygen out of the room for other themes with which you can actually legitimately corner the BJP. For instance, Mr. Stalin had a gathering. He's raised, there are questions about the EWS quota and about subverting the ultimate aim of reservation, all of this. The Bihar lot are going to respond with the caste census demand.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's Mandal again, but these are unemployment. Mr. Pawar also said there are agrarian distress issues. About Mr. Pawar, if you'd give me a minute, because I've been, the arithmetic is really interesting because, as you know, UP gives 80, Maharashtra gives 48 MPs. But just look at what happened in 2019. The undivided Shiv Sena and the BJP contested together, right? And NCP and Congress contested together. Now there are ruptures in the entire arrangement, and we are heading. And it just so happened that I ended up meeting a lot of MPs at a dinner, a lot of them from the NCP and other parties, just while the session was going on. And the concern is, if seats are given to the NCP people, off the record, I'm not quoting, if seats are given to the Congress, will they win it? Will they? We are already seeing a jockeying in those 48. So the NDA of 2019 wins 41 of 48 Maharashtra seats. But the BJP's ally was the undivided Sena. Now that's all gone. On the other hand, you have this other formation on the side, right?
Yeah.
And there is no evidence that Maharashtra has become a Uttar Pradesh also. You keep getting interesting results here and there, and they have delayed having the Mumbai corporation elections and so on and so forth. So it is uncertain terrain. I think Mr. Pawar, first, he has always been as a Maharashtra figure. And I remember the late Pramod Mahajan saying he's the ultimate politician. When you would also remember that he is my role model in a way, because he understands the importance of big capital and industry and their role in politics, whether you like it or not. And Congress has also had. So the Congress to suddenly say we are against crony capital, for God's sake. I mean, I'm not going there right now. The Congress has also had a lot of. Mr. Pawar, for one, understands the importance of that. And I think there's a very intriguing positioning he's done right now. Of course, we can speculate. There are some of NCP people who are also in jail under ED inquiries. There are inquiries against. We can speculate all that. But I think Pawar, he's 82 years old. He plays a long hand. And because I heard it with my own ears over that dinner, the concerns about how will the seats be divided when the arithmetic was entirely different in 2019. Now you need a three-way split in the opposition. It was NCP Congress. Now you have a faction of the Sena on the other side. One is that. The other reason why I'm not saying corruption has never worked, but at this point, you have to have other kind of issues which are going to work against a figure like Narendra Modi. You will have to have arithmetic of the opposition correct. If you lose all of that because of the rhetorical position that Rahul Gandhi takes on one matter, I'm not saying the matter is not important. Please don't misunderstand me. I don't agree with Pawar giving everybody, I don't agree with that.
A clean chit,
You suck the oxygen in the room, and Mr. Gandhi leaves the other opposition parties with their issues on which they are strong. So
Right, that's
that
fascinating. Yashwant Deshmukh of Sea Voter, one of the country's best known psephologists, is with us. Yashwant, you joined a little late, but we were sort of having this fascinating conversation about whether the Adani issue has been overkilled, as it were, from a political point of view. And of course, the Congress thinks no, the BJP would think no, but the NCP has made its position clear. And Sabha says, while I don't go the whole mile with Sharad Pawar, he has a point. Its political return is now limited. I know that you track public moods, you track the state of the nation. What are you picking up, Yashwant?
Well, I totally agree with that point that probably the issue is not resonating with the public at large because Barkha, for in terms of public perception, it is not always a single way approach. It's a two-way approach that public always looks at the issue, then also looks at the issue in the context and the relativity of when they look at the Congress or the UPA or the Gandhi family's previous association with the Ambanis, for that close, then they look at in that context whether if there is it is something new or if the political parties are known to have their own favorite capitalists around and crony capitalism and so on and so forth. So not that people are happy with whatever is going on, but not that they are so upset that they will be swinging over to the other side because they know it's a known factor. But as far as Mr. Pawar is concerned, Barkha, I believe that way back I had mentioned on your program that he is one gentleman to watch out for because I was pretty sure in 2014, the day the Maharashtra election results had come, assembly elections, and it was the only election when all four parties contested independently. And even before anything happened, Mr. Pawar had given unconditional support to the BJP to form the government. This was 2014 later half, post Lok Sabha election. It was assembly election of Maharashtra. Since then, I've been pretty clear about it that Mr. Pawar has obviously one of the sharpest minds, political mind, and we all agree on that one particular thing, knows which way it is going, and he would safely, maneuver himself eventually to the right side of the current political
Are you suggesting he would switch political sides, not just switch sides on the issue, but switch political sides, Yashwant?
He has already switched in that way. That's what I'm trying to say. His politics is, some may think like that he is doing a politics of the opposition, but I don't see it that way. Simply because, Barkha, that, he has successfully ensured that BJP becomes one pole of Maharashtra politics. He becomes the second largest in Maharashtra politics. And look as the biggest losers in this entire thing is one is the Congress, another one is the Uddhav Thackeray Shiv Sena. So I am pretty clear that even if he continues to contest as the form of UPA during the Lok Sabha elections, somewhere in the larger picture, his politics would be pretty much on this side of the power equation of Mr. Modi and the current BJP. I don't see any ambiguity in that.
So you've gone even further than Sabha. You've basically suggested that he's already made his positioning clear, and it's fascinating. I want to get the three politicians to respond to it. I'll come to you, Mahima. What I personally think is an example of pushing the Adani issue too far. Rahul Gandhi has a kind of joins the names of five politicians who have left the Congress, right? Himanta Biswa, Ghulam Nabi Azad, Kiran Reddy, Anil Antony, Jyotiraditya Scindia, and he links them to Adani. I mean, okay, clever, but you're basically, these were your party colleagues, and suddenly they're Adani's. What? I mean, it's a really forced link. Mahima? Can we unmute Mahima?
But can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
But their conscience was sold out. It has been sold out at his own convenience, at their own convenience.
So what does it have to do with Adani? What does it have to do with Adani?
Before I come to answer your point, Barkha ji, because I've been waiting for quite some time.
Yes,
and
please go ahead. A
few points to make. So let me just begin with this, that, you remember the 2G spectrum case where Dr. Singh was exonerated and Mr. A. Raja was also later acquitted. but it did give a stick to the opposition to beat around the UPA government with. And also, you would remember that Mr. Yashwant Sinha had written in himself to Dr. Singh to appear before the JPC, and that's, I think, the power our democracy confers upon the opposition parties, the opposition altogether. And let me just say that, what are the questions that the Congress has been raising? But before I come to that, let me just say that there was a talk about crony capitalism, and Ms. Naqvi talked about the Congress. And I think my leader, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, has repeatedly said that we are not against business, we are not against capitalists, we are against monopoly, and that's underlined there. We are against it. And Mr. Adani is rising drastically from 609th position to the second. I think speaks out loud for its own case, and I think there's no more elaboration required there. But let me just say that we have been raising these questions: that why is there reluctance in the institutions to act against Mr. Adani? Number one, we are asking whose money is the 20,000 crore that is invested through Adani Group of companies in the shell companies in Mauritius. We are getting no answers. I think the institutions should have acted, or the government should have had moral responsibility to take up the issue themselves, but it has not happened, and rather what is happening is derailing of issues, complete deranging of the issues.
So can I ask you something? Has Adani become a metaphor?
Let me just add the last question that we are asking, which the Supreme Court committee is unlikely to cover. We are asking that did the Prime Minister Modi pressurize Sri Lanka, used his political influence, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, and in the country, Jharkhand government, to bring about undue benefits or profits to the Adani Group of companies? So these are the questions that we are asking, and you would have seen that Mr. Satyapal Malik, who was a governor and has been a friend of the BJP, how he has come out and said that he'll be campaigning for the Congress and other opposition parties.
Can I ask you something?
I am reminded also of Ram Jethmalani today, who stood with the BJP once, who was an MP from the BJP once, and then,
I have a question.
Before I go to my deathbed, I must raise my voice because my conscience will not allow me.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? And briefly, because I want to go to Asif and to Brijmohan ji. Here's my question. When you link 5 ex-congressmen who are today either with their own parties or with the BJP to Gautam Adani, are you using Adani as a metaphor? Has Adani now become a metaphor as opposed to the Adani himself? Like what? How do we understand that Rahul Gandhi tweet?
I would say that it is, I think there's one word that completely elucidates that tweet. It is monopoly. I already said that my leader is against monopoly. The Congress is against monopoly. We are against a capitalist becoming, the topmost, and through him, becoming channel to misappropriate the Indian population's money, hard-earned money. This is our money, which we are raising questions about, and I think we deserve an answer.
Okay. Now, before I come to Brijmohan ji and Asif ji, what's also happening is a kind of exodus out of the Congress. People may say the leaders who are leaving are not electorally relevant, but the way the Congress chooses to handle it is worthy of commentary. And if Yashwant, as Yashwant is arguing that Mr. Pawar has already shown his hand, how will the Congress react? Is there anything the Congress can do? In this context, I just want to play out a little clip of Ghulam Nabi Azad basically saying to me how the Congress lost Himanta Biswa. It's a long story. You can watch the full interview on our channel. But this little clip tells you the attitude the Congress has taken right now to anyone disagreeing with it. I think it might tell you something. Listen in.
हम दोनों गए तो वी saw him कि वो तो इनके साथ चाय पी रहे हैं.
कौन?
चीफ राहुल गांधी
with Tarun
Gogoi and his son.
So
we were astonished that he's a party. So we are supposed to give our independent opinion.
Yes.
जो हमने मिसेस गांधी को दी तो पूरा अब इसके सामने क्या दें? तो उन्होंने कहा भाई सुना कि भाई आप लोग बड़ा तंग कर रहे हैं सीएम को. मैंने कहा हम क्यों तंग कर रहे हैं? और मैं तो है नहीं. I was given a particular task. वो टास्क करने के लिए बाकी जनरल सेक्रेटरी है. तो मुझे नहीं मालूम क्या तंग कर रहे हैं. क्राइसिस है और क्राइसिस में ही हैज द नंबर, और अगर नंबर नहीं बनाएंगे तो भागेगा. कहा भागने दो, बट ही विल कंटिन्यू. तो मैंने कहा आप सोच के बताइए, कहा नो ही विल कंटिन्यू।
And did you say that
Sir.
Himanta Biswa will leave?
हम बताया कि वो जाएगा, कहा जाने को, बट आई वॉज नॉट सरप्राइज। मैं उनको राहुल जी का तकिया कलाम होता है ना, कि हर चीज के किसी चीज पे आज भी उनको कहो वो जा रहा है कि जाओ, वो नाराज है, जाने दो आरएसएस में, वो वर्ड आरएसएस करते हैं इस्तेमाल।
राहुल गांधी का तकिया कलाम है कोई जा रहा है तो जाने दो आरएसएस में। Mahima, yes, I know you want to react to that. Is it okay if I get the others? Okay, one sentence from you. I think that's fair. Yeah, okay, yes, Mahima, go ahead. Yeah.
Just this afternoon in his press conference, I think Mr. Pawan Khera has appropriately responded to all of these ex-fellows of ours by saying that उन्होंने कहा कि हमारे पास आज गाड़ी है, बंगला है, तुम्हारे पास क्या है? हमने कहा हमारे पास ईमान है, and I think we all resonate with that.
Okay, there's a question very interestingly from one of our Mojo Story members. Rajiv Sharma says, did Sharad Pawar really puncture Rahul Gandhi or did he show his true colors? Now, this is a very interesting question because what are Sharad Pawar's true colors? Mahima, I'll come back to the response that you had on the Himanta Biswa story, but I must allow Asif, Bhamla of the BJP and Brijmohan ji of the NCP to come in. Asif, go ahead.
You see, the issue is the lack of the vision and the mission with the Congress. It's very unfortunate. And what I would like to say is that Mr. Sharad Pawar has shown the mirror, you see, to the people. The people who are disconnected from reality and who claim to have a joint parliamentary session in the Hindenburg issue. Now, let me tell you, what is the need for a joint parliamentary committee when a senior veteran like a Sharad Pawar has said that? And I don't see, not only this, they're coming up with several other issues on this. Now you see the issue on this educational degree. Is that a political issue that someone should take across in the country? I wonder if AAP and Uddhav Thackeray also hope that I hope the judgment in Gujarat High Court is sufficient enough to give a slap on them to what they always think about.
Do you believe, Mr. Bhamla, since you're a Maharashtra politician, a Mumbaikar, do you believe Sharad Pawar is on his way to switching sides?
Well, Pawar Sahab is a leader who has his craft, who is very well known for acting at the right time, at the right moment. I don't know if it's the right moment for him, but all I know is that he has understood the demographics of the country. He has understood that the country, for the country to lead for this forthcoming, Lok Sabha, there's no other face than Honorable Narendra Modi ji. So I said I cannot judge. No one can be judgmental about Sharad Pawar ji in this whole panel. In the spokesperson of the NCP himself also will not be judgmental about his own leader, who also happens to be my leader. What I would like to say is that you see, वो कहते हैं ना, चित्र साफ है कि विपक्ष में की हवा उड़ गई है और वो सब जानते हैं। और मुझे लगता है पवार साहब को पता है कि इस पौधे को कितना पानी देना चाहिए और वो सही वक्त पर पानी डालते, क्योंकि वो स्वयं एक किसान भी है, एक नेता होने के साथ साथ। ऐसा
चलिए, ये भी एक अच्छा मेटाफर है टू लुक एट द अडानी इशू एज अ पौधा दैट हैज बीन गिवन इनफ पानी। इसके बाद अगर और पानी डालेंगे तो पौधा मर जाएगा। ये भी होता है, ज्यादा पानी से पौधे मर भी जाते हैं। तो ब्रिजमोहन जी, आप बोलिए, ये जो चर्चा चल रही है, आपने सभा और यशवंत की बात सुनी कि पवार साहब है शोन हिज हैंड, उन्होंने मूड सेंस कर लिया और महाराष्ट्र में भी एक रीअलाइनमेंट हो सकती है, चाहे वो पहले हो 2024 से या बाद में हो, मैं नहीं कह सकती। आप क्या कहेंगे इस पे?
देखिए, पहले तो ये समझना होगा कि ये शरद पवार जी ने पहली बार कांग्रेस को सचेत नहीं किया है या अपने विपक्षी साथियों को सचेत नहीं किया है। इसके पहले, आज से 1.5 साल पहले भी उन्होंने कांग्रेस के मामले में इस बात को कहा था कि कांग्रेस को इस बात पे चिंतन करना चाहिए कि हम अब जमींदार नहीं रहे, और अगर हम जमींदारी की दृष्टिकोण से चीजों को देखेंगे तो शायद गलती हो जाएगी। देखिए कि वो हमारे इस पूरे गठबंधन के सबसे वरिष्ठ नेता हैं और उनको सबसे ज्यादा अनुभव है। अगर वो किसी बात को सचेत करते या किसी बात की तरफ इशारा करते तो इसका ये मतलब कदापि नहीं है कि वो इस गठबंधन से बाहर जा रहे हैं। अभी मैंने आदरणीय देशमुख जी को सुना, उन्होंने बोला, तो उन्होंने शायद नासिक में जो पवार साहब ने कहा है अभी 2 दिन पहले, उसको यदि उन्होंने सुना होता तो शायद वो इस बात पे जरूर कहने के पहले सोचते। उन्होंने इस बात को बहुत स्पष्ट रूप से कहा है कि मैंने अपने विचार रखे हैं लोगों के बीच में। अगर हमारे साथ के जो राजनीतिक दल है, यदि वो नहीं चाहते हैं कि मैं इस बात को ज्यादा कहूं तो मुझे कोई एतराज नहीं है, क्योंकि देखिए शरद पवार जी में दो खूबी है। एक ये कि वो अपनी बात को कहते समय हमेशा देश हित की बात करते हैं। देशमुख जी ने कहा कि 2014 में कांग्रेस उन्होंने शिवसेना और बीजेपी को एक अलिखित समर्थन दिया था। उस समय तो उनके पास कोई जरूरत नहीं थी, लोकसभा के चुनाव हो चुके थे और हम लोग महाराष्ट्र में अल्पमत में थे। लेकिन उन्होंने ये फैसला क्यों किया? क्योंकि वो नहीं चाहते थे कि महाराष्ट्र में फिर से मिड टर्म हो जाए। ये उनका जो सोच था। ये हो सकता है जो राजनीति में लोग हैं वो अपने अपने कयास लगाते हैं, लेकिन जो
ब्रिजमोहन
मेरी
जी,
उनसे
सॉरी, मैं आपको इसलिए रोक रही हूँ कि मुझे एक इंटरव्यू याद आया, मैंने प्रणब बाबू के साथ किया था। प्रणब बाबू was also described as one of the wiliest politicians in India, और उन्होंने मुझे कहा कि एक पॉलिटिशियन जो बिल्कुल अनप्रिडिक्टेबल है उनकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग में वो शरद पवार है। He said nobody can predict शरद पवार, nobody can predict शरद पवार नेक्स्ट मूव। ये मुझे प्रणब मुखर्जी ने ऑन रिकॉर्ड बोला था। इसलिए शरद पवार जो कहते हैं एक पॉइंट पे वो वही रहेगा। एक साल बचा है इलेक्शन के लिए, वो आई थिंक यू विल आल्सो एग्री 1 year इज एन इटर्निटी इन पॉलिटिक्स। लेकिन आपने ये बात छेड़ी, मैं यशवंत को रिस्पॉन्ड करने का मौका दूंगी एंड देन सबा। हैंग ऑन आसिफ जी, व्हाट आर यू सेइंग? कैन वी अनम्यूट आसिफ जी? आसिफ जी ब्रीफ।
You see,
Yeah.
yes,
कहना
Pawar Sahab
चाहता
has also showed the mirror to Rahul Gandhi ji on the Savarkar issue. If you see, it's not
Yes.
this only issue. He has spoken on 3 issues consecutively. He has
And that is
been
that is why
against, you
Sabha
see.
has been
You
saying
see,
that there's something
Savarkar's
going on here
issue
in Maharashtra.
also, on
Understood.
Savarkar's issue, he has shown the mirror on the wall. And
Okay.
I hope the Sena would not resort to the abusive politics towards Pawar Sahab, who has shown the mirror to them.
Okay.
I hope
So
Sena doesn't do
let
that.
Yashwant and Sabha speak now, please. Yashwant first, then Sabha. Yashwant, please go ahead. Yashwant.
I did not say that he will join the BJP or the NDA. Mr. Pawar does the politics of the power. He will do the politics of the BJP and power at the moment. Not at all necessary that he joins the NDA or the BJP. He is very much in a position to do politics of the BJP without joining the BJP. That's Sharad Pawar for you.
I think that kind of summarizes it. Sabha, do you agree?
I do, Barkha, but I think we must bear in mind that the BJP has lost a lot of allies. Pawar is these small regional parties. Their clout comes from being in the balancing position. He's going to play that, and that dinner that I mentioned to you was the day that the Savarkar statement had come out, and you'd be surprised to know beyond the NCP there were South Indian opposition parties who were so upset with Rahul Gandhi's Savarkar statement. Because everyone is trying to keep a balance. Everyone is trying to keep a balance. So I think Pawar, right, we don't know, as Yashwant has said, that we don't know what he'll do, but he's 82 years old, okay? There's not much. What is the NCP without Sharad Pawar? Let's also keep that in mind. You know, what is it? And we still don't know what is the Shiv Sena right now in Maharashtra. Right? But we don't know whether Shinde is the Sena or Udhav, the legacy will be, he's not been able to do the political management, but is the legacy going to hold on? All of this is untested. But we do know that Pawar likes a balancing act. He does not like absolute power on one side. Let's keep that in mind when we that's what
I do have to start closing, but Yashwant, if you want to just add to Maharashtra, what might happen there is a clue to what might happen nationally. The balance that Sabha's been talking about, you know, that people don't want needless divisions. I believe two kind of distractions are taking place in the opposition. I'm not calling Adani a distraction, I should clarify. I think there are many legitimate issues, but I think that beyond a point, the people may have moved on. So unless you can put new information in the public domain, is it catching voter imagination? I don't think so. And the other is Kejriwal's risky campaign on the Prime Minister's degree. And I think the rest of the opposition may not be on board with the stridency on these issues. Yashwant.
Absolutely, and also the fact that his statement or the NCP's statement, even on the Kejriwal's program of asking the degree, that is also very critical. He has very categorically said, should the country do the politics on which degree, which politician and which kind of degree? So basically, he is very clear that the issues that right now the opposition is trying to raise are not the issues which are going to, do the trick with the masses. They may be issues. They are important issues. Nobody is saying that they are not issues which have the gravity, in that way. But then we have always known there are issues and there are electoral issues. I think Mr. Pawar is very clear. He knows where the public and what the public is going and what the public is thinking. And he feels these are the issues which are not going to do any wonder as far as the public perception is concerned. It is a battle of the perception. Politics is always a battle of perception in any case. And
Right.
I believe that he is holding his cards in that way. But as far as Mr. Pawar is concerned, no matter he is in UPA or not, he is wherever he is, his politics will be always the politics of power. He doesn't need to join NDA to do the politics of NDA.
Brijmohan ji, very brief response before we close. I think the Congress has made its position clear, but I'll allow your response to that. Brijmohan ji.
देखिए कि मैं एक बात बहुत स्पष्ट रूप से कहना चाहता हूं, और ये मैं अपनी पार्टी की तरफ से भी कह रहा हूं और आदरणीय शरद पवार जी की तरफ से कह रहा हूं। हम लोगों का जो गठबंधन है उस पे कांग्रेस केंद्र में है और हम लोग इस गठबंधन का एक अभिन्न हिस्सा हैं। किसी भी हालत में ये गठबंधन ऐसा कोई काम नहीं करेगा जिससे कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बनाने में उनको मदद मिले या आदरणीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी को ताकत मिले। जहां तक बात अडानी जी की है, ये इश्यू देश के बहुत सारे उद्योगपतियों से जुड़ा हुआ है। अगर आज कोई बाहर का एक आदमी हमारे उद्योगपति के ऊपर उंगली उठाता है तो आखिर उसके लिए बोलने की क्यों ना बोला जाए। ये बात तो बीजेपी को करना चाहिए थी, लेकिन उनकी हिम्मत टूट गई। मैं अपने आदरणीय नेता को इस बात के लिए महान मानता हूं कि कम से कम उन्होंने बेबाकी के साथ
ये आपने एक इंटरेस्टिंग बात की कि आजकल बहुत कम नेता हैं जो एक बिग बिजनेस के साथ एफिलिएशन के लिए तैयार हैं, और वो शरद पवार हैज शोन दैट ही इज प्रोबब्ली द ओनली पॉलिटिशियन रेडी टू do so openly. तो ये मैं आपकी बात मानती हूँ. I'll have to leave it there, but there's a final audience comment I want to just bring up on our screen. This is one of our members who says, BD, you were mentioning that people leaving INC were not electorally relevant, but the INC itself has proven to be electorally irrelevant since 2014, so this can't be an excuse to ignore these exits. I'm not saying ignore these exits. I was saying that's the argument of Congress supporters, that these exits, in fact, Himanta Biswa is very relevant electorally. He controls not just Assam, but the entire Northeast. So that was not my argument. That was the argument being made by several Congress supporters. We'll have to leave it there. To Brijmohan ji, to Sabha, to Yashwant, to Asif ji, and to Mahima ji, thank you. And to our audience, thank you very much to all of you for joining. We'll be back tomorrow with a new sort of big story of the day to analyze. And if you haven't become a member yet, do become a member of our community with an opportunity to ask questions to our panel, as well as our newsmakers, and of course, to ask me anything, especially sort of mediated direct conversations with me once every month. So do become a member of the Mojo Story community. Thanks for watching. We started Mojo right here in this basement. Just 4 people, 4. And now we're about to hit our first 1 million subscribers. So this is to say thank you to all of you for your support, for your respect, and for your encouragement. We've always gone to where the story is. During the pandemic, when television's big anchors were hunkered down in their studios or at their homes, we hit the road. We traveled from Delhi to Kerala, covering 30,000 kilometers in a small car, reporting from inside ICUs and inside slum tenements. Whether it's flash floods or war zones, we've always put our boots on the ground. In fact, we're just back from Punjab, tailing the Khalistani fugitive Amritpal Singh. And through all of this, we have always put you, the people, first. In an age of partisan polarized media where most journalists are either chamcha ya morcha, we believe the story is sacred and the truth of the story is what matters. And now as we get ready for the next step, we need your help. Become a Mojo member and get first access to all our big interviews. Get a chance to ask our newsmakers questions. Get a chance to write and report for us for both our website and our channels. And also, interact with me and my colleagues directly through AMA sessions. Literally, ask me anything. Click on the join now right next to the subscribe button, and yes, also subscribe if you haven't yet, and become a Mojo member for just 159 rupees a month. Hope to see lots of you in our community. It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.